grow businesses off social media alone. So there's no reason we can't grow our presence here in the Stanislaus community by, just really making people aware of our presence on social media. And just a reminder of the mission and vision of the Older Adult Collaborative. Our mission is to proactively serve and educate each other in pursuit of synergistic solutions for seniors in our community. And our vision is to create a unified senior resource team to support each other and the seniors we serve. And our values are integrity, synergy, service, and collaboration. So that's who we are and what we're all about. And so I'm going to hand it off to Miss Cheryl today. She wanted to have a little bit of time to share some information. So Cheryl, I'll hand it off to you.
Thank you so much. Welcome everybody. I'm so glad to see this amazing group. But first of all, I wanted to point out another new member. I invited this morning Allison Waddell from Encompass Health. She's an amazing young woman with a wonderful company that I've been so lucky to work with for the last couple years. So I want to give a OAC welcome to Allison Waddell, one of our new members. Yay! Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining, Allison. I see you down there in the corner. Yes, hey.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, Allison.
To get started, I'm going to introduce John, but just to give a little bit of backstory, I know most of you, I've known most of you for several years, but I am Cheryl Schrock with the Alzheimer's Association. I'm the senior manager of WAC, and been so lucky to work with so many of you in this amazing group. But I want to be able to give John the time that he is due. And so just a little background, and I'm getting on my pulpit here, and to me this is personal. We all know that Alzheimer's disease is the 6th leading cause of death in the United States, but it's the 3rd leading cause of death in the state of California. 1 in 3 of the seniors that we are dealing with will be suffering from some kind of dementia or Alzheimer's disease. This disease kills more people than prostate cancer or breast cancer combined. So I have a sense of urgency of bringing education and awareness to this. To me, it's personal. I lost my dad 2 years ago to the disease. This organization, the Alzheimer's Association, was my North Star and my guide to getting through what I needed to get through as a family and as a long distance daughter. My mother has recently been diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. And again, this organization is here to guide us through the process. We want to make sure everybody knows that they don't have to go through this alone. We're here. The Walk to End Alzheimer's is coming up September 18th. We're looking to be in person. We've got great plans and wonderful things going on. Thank you guys again for all the amazing support last year. It's now 2021. Let's show them what Modesto can do. But going forward, I want to introduce John Schumann. He's been what you call a community outreach volunteer for the past year for Northern California, Northern Nevada. John also resides in Sacramento and is on the committee for the Sacramento Walk team, helping us with the mission. John has been involved. We're so proud that he's come down here to touch us with this amazing information. I also want to thank my partner, Denise Davis, one of our amazing staff in the Sacramento office and one of the people that make all these services come true. Thank you guys very much. And in that way, I'm going to introduce John, let him take the stage. And thank you, John, for helping us out here. Let's give a warm and fabulous Modesto OAC welcome to John Schumann.
Yay!
Thank you. That was a wonderful introduction, and I appreciate that warm welcome. My connection with Alzheimer's was my mother. She was diagnosed in about 1997 and passed in 2002. She had dual residence, one back in Wisconsin during the summertime, and then she would come out to California in the winter months. So I got to spend more time with her on that. Back then, we didn't have, wasn't aware of all the resources the Alzheimer's Association has. And I like to use that passion to say, this information is out there, and we want to let it be known to as many people as possible. If you need assistance, the Alzheimer's Association can help. Today's presentation is going to be Healthy Living for Your Brain and Body with tips from the latest research program. This is designed to offer you research-based recommendations about taking care of your brain and our bodies as we age and age as well as possible. By the end of the program, you'll be able to identify the reasons for taking care of yourself as you age. List strategies to help you age well in the following areas: cognitive activity, physical health and exercise, diet and nutrition, and social engagement. You want to make your own plan for healthy aging using the Healthy Living for Your Brain and Body tips from the latest research workbook. There are a few handouts for the presentation. If we were in person, I'd have them in front of you. Since we only have limited time, I'll hold and show you how to get those at the end of the presentation. As a good presenter, you know, don't put up information that's going to distract people while you're talking. So got your hostage for a little while. Throughout the course of the program, you'll be able to view short videos of experts in the field of aging and people who are finding ways to make small changes that can add up to help them age well. If you have any questions during the presentation, please put them in the chat box, and as we get to the end, we'll try and answer as many of those as possible or point you to the resources for information. Let's start out by talking about the factors that contribute to how human beings age. There are some ways in which we age that we all have in common, and many of these are outside of our control. As older adults, for example, hair typically turns gray, skin wrinkles, our eyes tend not to focus as good as they used to. As individuals, though, we each age somewhat differently, and how this takes place depends in part on our genes. We are each genetically predisposed to age in a certain way. For example, some families tend to live a long time, aging well into their 90s or even longer, while other families tend to develop diseases that may limit the lifespan. These things are all beyond our control. However, there are many aspects of aging over which we do have some degree of control. These aspects of aging include lifestyle or environmental factors associated with how we age. Even in families with genetic predisposition towards particular conditions, there are lifestyles and environmental interventions that may alter the course of those conditions significantly. We can start by adopting habits to potentially improve overall health, and these habits may help keep our bodies and our brains healthy as we age. Now let's talk a little bit about the brain and how it works. The brain controls all of our bodily functions, including thought and movement, and it's control center for the entire body. There are approximately 100 billion nerve cells called neurons in the brain. They're structured like branches of the tree, creating networks or pathways through which electrochemical signals are sent to form thoughts, feelings, and memories. Alzheimer's disease progressively destroys brain cells as it moves through the brain, affecting more functions as it progresses. We've known for years that the body and the brain are connected, and that what's good for the body may also be good for the brain. Now science is able to tell us why and why this is true and what we can do to maximize our health. Much of the body-brain connection is due to the fact that the brain is nourished by the body's richest network of blood vessels. The oxygen and other elements delivered to the brain through the blood, tongue twister. The oxygen and other elements delivered to the brain through the bloodstream keep the brain nourished. And each time your heart beats, 25% of the blood being moved goes to the brain. This is why we keep the body in good working order, helps keep the brain fueled to do its work. There are many benefits to aging. If you ask someone you know who is over 50 or 60, you may hear discussion of increased feelings of comfort with who the person is and less concerned with opinions or criticisms of others. Those in their 70s and 80s may talk about the wisdom that comes with life experience and appreciation of this perspective. As we age, there are changes that take place in our bodies and our brains. Many of these are to be expected as typical age-related changes, such as decline in the way our brains process information. In addition, however, there are some diseases that are more common as we age, and some of those impact brain function. Alzheimer's disease and other dementia results when the brain is compromised in specific ways. Currently, there are no proven methods to prevent, cure, or even slow the progression of Alzheimer's disease. There are habits, though, that help maintain or potentially improve our overall health as we age. And these habits may also keep your brain healthy as you age. Although this program isn't specifically about issues related to Alzheimer's disease or dementia, it's helpful to know some basic information about these conditions to understand how they relate to healthy aging and what we can do to help our brains and our bodies age as well as possible. Dementia is a general term that's caused by many different diseases, each with different symptoms. The symptoms of all these diseases have one thing in common. They compromise the way the brain works and cause a decline in memory or other brain functions that are noticeable enough to affect everyday life. Although dementia and the disease under this umbrella term are associated with aging, they are not a normal part of aging. If they were, everyone would develop them as they age, and we know this just isn't the case. Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia, which accounts for 60 to 80% of all cases. Some of the risks of Alzheimer's include age, genetics, head injury, cardiovascular factors, and fewer years of formal education. We will discuss some of these risks in more detail in this program. There are some therapies that have been developed to help treat symptoms of the disease, and these are effective in some people for a limited period of time. However, they do not slow the disease progress of the disease. The Alzheimer's Association offers many programs and resources, both in person and online, where you can get additional information about Alzheimer's and other forms of dementia. And today we're going to explore 4 aspects of healthy aging. These areas are physical health and exercise, diet and nutrition, cognitive activity, and social engagement. We're going to look at the most current research that tells us about changes we can make in each of these areas that can help our bodies and our brains age as well as possible. As we touch on each area, think about how you can apply this research to your own life, and consider how you can, 1, do what you enjoy, 2, make gradual changes, and 3, start now, regardless of your age. Whenever possible, think about how you can make changes that affect more than one area at once to maximize the health benefits. Let's start, let's start by exploring the area of physical health and exercise. There's quite a bit of research in this area of how physical activity affects the brain. Many studies indicate that engaging in physical activity is associated with lower risk cognitive decline. So many researchers say that if people had to choose one thing to do to improve their brain functioning, it should be exercise. Some evidence suggests that exercise may directly benefit brain cells by increasing blood and oxygen flow, and by reducing other dementia risk factors such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol. However, there is no single recipe that works best for most Most researchers believe exercise should be regular and on the more vigorous side, but other studies have shown benefits from mild activities such as walking. In our first video, Woodley is going to describe how he's developing a new habit.
It's surprising how you can easily build up habits of just taking 15 to 20 minutes out of your day to go down, hit the treadmill, and just do it. Just do it. Just get on it, put my headphones on, and just walk at a nice brisk pace for myself, build up a quick heartbeat, quick sweat, and it's amazing how quickly I can go from 15 minutes to 20 minutes. And then over time, 30 minutes, and over time, 40 minutes. Before you know it, you're up to 45 minutes of walking, and even at a higher incline and also at a higher pace. And again, it's all about incorporating habits and the choices that we make.
And so as we look at developing habits, my background was a training manager, and we always talk about how do we want people to develop the right habits for production in our environment. And it said that it takes 16 to 18 times for you to repeat a habit before it starts to become automatic. And that can take several weeks to do that. So I like in Woodley's description there, start slow, don't get discouraged. Take them in incremental steps till you can reach your goal. Developing that new habit can happen surprisingly quickly. Progress comes with choosing to stick with a new behavior, and create an exercise habit can begin with just 10 to 15 minutes a day of activity. The most important recommendation is to be as active as you can and to incorporate activity that you enjoy so that you'll continue to engage in it. And nobody likes to show up and say, I hate doing this, but I'm going to come back tomorrow and do it again. We want to have fun while we're doing that. If this is new for you, start out small. Walk around your neighborhood a few times a week. Take the stairs more often, or park your car farther away from your destination than usual. The little changes can add up, and research shows that even 20 to 30 minutes of walking a few times a week can have health benefits. Participate in cardiovascular activity regularly. This will increase the blood flow to your brain and your body, providing additional nourishment. And research has shown that for most people, any additional movement is a positive change that can have an impact on your overall health. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have developed recommended guidelines for physical activity. And there's more information about the recommendations and how you reach them. You can take a look at the CDC's website for physical activity. So in the chat box, I did put the links that we're referencing today. Yeah, give you a quick look. This is the link that I've given you to the CDC, which talk about physical activity. So you can get some guidelines and recommendations there. We want to move safely. To prevent injury, wear a helmet when biking to protect against head injury, and wear other protective gear where needed for other activities. And I can testify that that helmet can save your life. I did have a bike accident several years ago that put me headfirst into a brick wall, and that helmet saved me tremendously. So please wear your helmet. Ask your friends to join you. This way you can make it a social benefit for your brain and get support for continuing with your routine. Consider physical activities that may also be mentally or socially engaging, such as taking a dance class, joining an exercise group, or engaging in challenging sports such as golfing or playing tennis. You want to check in with your doctor before beginning a new exercise program. And finally, remember, it's never too late or too early to start. No matter when you start, your body and brain can still reap the benefits. Studies have found that smoking increases the risk of cognitive decline and may increase the risk of dementia. Additional benefits of stopping smoking include a lower risk of heart attacks, stroke, and lung disease, better blood circulation, and avoiding exposing others to secondhand smoke. Alcohol has many effects. Although a glass or two of red wine is commonly thought to have health benefits, you should not start drinking if you don't already do so. Also, excessive drinking of alcohol has some serious negative consequences, including slow or impaired communication among the brain cells, fuzzy memory and drowsiness, long-term changes in balance, memory, emotions, coordination, and body temperature. It can be a big contributor to falls and fall-related injuries in older adults. Can react negatively with many medications, leading to potentially dangerous or even life-threatening consequences. You want to get enough sleep. Inadequate sleep due to conditions like insomnia or sleep apnea can cause problems with memory and thinking. Avoid any injury to your head. Head injuries and falls can contribute to physical and cognitive difficulties. Be sure to wear a helmet when riding a bike or playing sports that could involve head injury. And I see a bunch of probably rollerbladers out there maybe. I get the reaction, yeah, somebody's paying attention. We still got somebody. Okay, studies have found that regular physical activity decreases stress, increases your ability to manage stress, and leads to better overall mood. Monitor your level of stress, take action to minimize it, and seek professional assistance to address anxiety, depression, or other mental health concerns. Be sure that you have informed all of your doctors about the medications you take and have them reviewed by your primary doctor each year. You want to find a physician you trust and visit with him or her on a regular basis. Follow up on all recommendations. This is one of the best things you can do to maximize your health as you age. So what can we do? Growing evidence suggests that many factors that increase the risk of heart disease and strokes may also increase the risk of dementia. Those include high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, and possibly high cholesterol. Although there is good research being done in these areas, more is needed. And here's what we know. Research has shown an increase in the risk of cognitive decline and dementia among individuals with diabetes. Although diabetes has not been shown to cause Alzheimer's disease, there is a relationship between those who have diabetes and those who are getting dementia. Studies have also found that midlife obesity may be associated with increased risk of dementia. Research done on treatments to reduce midlife hypertension suggests that they may also reduce the risk of cognitive decline. And studies have shown mixed results for the relationship between high cholesterol and levels of dementia. We do know that good cholesterol level is good for the heart, and what's good for the heart may be good for the brain. The best way to combat these health concerns is to get your cardiovascular factors mentioned above tested regularly and work with your doctor to understand what the results mean for your overall health. You want to be aware of the changes from previous levels to help determine whether changes are needed to help you stay healthy. African Americans, Latinos, and other ethnic groups that tend to have higher rates of high blood pressure, diabetes, and cardiovascular problems need to work closely with doctors to stay on top of any medical concerns. The next area we're going to explore is diet and nutrition. Again, we know that healthy fueling of the body benefits the brain, but there are many differing opinions about what is the best way to maximize your health. Research in the area of the relationship between diet and cognitive functioning is somewhat limited, but it does point to the benefits of two diets in particular. The DASH diet, which stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension, and the Mediterranean diet. The Dietary Approach to Stop Hypertension, or DASH, is a flexible and balanced eating plan. Studies show that DASH diet lowers high blood pressure and improves levels of blood lipids, that's fats in the bloodstream, which may reduce the risk of developing cardiovascular disease. Because the DASH diet is a healthy way of eating, it offers potential health benefits beyond simply lowering blood pressure, including reducing the risk of osteoporosis, cancer, heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. And the Mediterranean diet incorporates the basic healthy eating along with components characterizing the traditional cooking styles of countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea. A research analysis of more than 1.5 million healthy adults demonstrated that following the Mediterranean diet could reduce the risk of death from heart disease and cancer, and may also reduce the incidence of Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. It's never too late to adopt a healthy heart diet, and studies show that making these changes even later in life have benefits for your brain and health. Now let's hear Dr. Martha Claire Morris talking about a diet that has been shown to help people age in a healthy way.
Foods that have been shown to lead to healthy aging would be fruits and vegetables, and in particular green leafy vegetables and berries, as well as limited intake of high-fat food items that you get through high-fat dairy and cheese and red meats, and also healthy vegetable oils. So this would be, olive oil would be a good example, have been shown to reduce your risk of heart disease as well as dementia.
Science has shown that there are foods that can help us age well. And those diets can help you reduce your risk of heart disease. It may also reduce your risk of dementia. There are some simple ways to adopt a healthy diet that benefit your body and your brain. And we all probably know this, but it's a good reminder. On this slide, you can see the suggestions that incorporate the principles from both DASH and the Mediterranean diets. And they include: incorporate vegetables into your daily diet. Eating green leafy vegetables has been shown to have health benefits. Eat a diet rich in fruits. Some studies indicate certain fruits, such as berries, may be particularly helpful. Eat nuts, beans, and whole grains. Choose foods containing polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats, which are found in nuts, vegetable oils, and fish. Aim for a diet low in saturated trans fats, and stay away from processed foods, deep fried foods, and excess sugar and salts. A healthy diet is going to help increase your intake of important vitamins. And some research has shown that vitamins such as vitamin E or vitamins E and C together, vitamin B12 and folate, may lower your risk of cognitive decline and possibly Alzheimer's. This research has resulted in some suggestions that taking dietary supplements will lower your risk. Dietary supplements and nutraceuticals or medical foods are made for those with nutritional deficiencies and are to be used only under the supervision of a physician. Labels for medical foods or supplements cannot make drug claims that state they alleviate the symptoms of diseases because they are not drugs as defined by the FDA. Many are created with little or no regulation and may be potentially dangerous, so beware of false claims. With all types of supplements, it's important to keep in mind that they are not without risk. They are made of chemicals that interact with other medications in negative ways, upset the way that your body works naturally, or upset the way the body works naturally. So every person's individual chemistry is different, and what we're putting into our body can act differently. So we want to make sure that we're being safe. Although they often cite research to back up the beneficial claims, the research has not been held to rigorous standards required by the FDA. Even with emerging research to back the claims, it can be difficult to understand what that research means for you. When getting information about a supplement and vitamin, check with a reputable source about the information and what research has been done. The best way to understand and address how we care for ourselves best is to discuss this with your physician. Work with a trusted doctor who understands your physical issues well. He or she can provide the best advice on how medications, vitamins, dietary supplements may interact with your body. It is important to discuss any changes in medications with your doctor. So next we're going to take a look at the research done to improve cognitive activity. Cognitive activity is the term used for keeping our minds active. Anything that uses your mind in a challenging way is cognitive activity and can possibly have short and long-term benefits for your brain. As you use your mind in the new and challenging ways, your brain actually begins to form and nourish new pathways for connections among brain cells. The more pathways you have, the more nimble your brain is, and the better able you are to guard against the effects of injuries, disease that may compromise brain functioning. Studies have been done in which some people engaged in cognitive activity by playing games or reading materials that was more challenging for them. Those who kept their brains active in these ways could recall information that was recently learned and remember it later to a much greater degree than those who did not keep their minds stimulated with mental activity. However, we do not know all the reasons for staying cognitively engaged, why staying cognitively, pardon me, get my tongue twisted again. We don't know all the reasons for why staying cognitively engaged may be beneficial. Most research taking place today is to further explore these questions. Research has shown that engaging in formal education, classroom-based learning administered by professionally trained teachers at any stage in life will help you keep your brain healthy and can protect your brain from developing dementia. Some researchers believe that this may be due to education creating a more robust network of communication pathways between the neurons in the brain. And others believe the difference has more to do with education levels being related to socioeconomic factors, which are correlated to risk for disease in general and access to medical care. So as I shared, I'm a former training manager, and one of the things we like to stress was you always want to be a lifelong learner. Always seek opportunities to stay learning about something. And if you follow that approach, you know, I believe that ties into what we're talking about here, is always challenging yourself. In this video, Dr. David Bennett, director of Rush Alzheimer's Disease Center in Chicago, talks about the research in the area of cognitive activity.
One of the most interesting factors is cognitive stimulating activities, which basically for us just means mental processing of information. It can be from a book, it can be from the radio, it can be a magazine, it can be from a lecture, it can actually be from watching TV. All of these things require processing information. And the old adage of, you know, use it or lose it is actually something that turns out, at least from the observational data, to look like it's true. So numerous studies now have shown that being more engaged in cognitively stimulating activities is actually good for maintaining cognition. And it's true in late life, and it's true in early life. And so what we recommend is that you start early, and if you're already late, start now.
Cognitive stimulation is defined as the mental processing of information. And cognitive stimulation has a positive effect on maintaining cognitive abilities throughout our life. It's important to incorporate these cognitive stimulation into your life, regardless of your age. So how can we exercise our brains to keep our mind active? On the screen, there's a few examples here, but I'd like to give you an opportunity to use the chat box and put in, just for about the next 30, 40 seconds, what activities do you think you could do to help stimulate your brain? Learning the language, shy group, crossword puzzles. Okay, so we want to participate in these mentally stimulating activities. There's another one, play words with friends. You want to build a piece of furniture, try a new cooking technique, or create something artistic. Read books and articles that challenge and inspire you. Focus on topics of interest that provide you with new learning or add to what you already know. And complete puzzles and play games that are challenging for you. Now, this goes beyond the jigsaw crossword puzzles that you find fairly easy to do. Here we're talking about solving the problem that has you stumped, or figuring out ways to approach a familiar task in a more effective way. It requires that you think steps ahead and make plans for adapting changes that an opponent may make in a game like chess or bridge. There's some strategies involved there. You want to learn new skills or hobbies. Learn something new that interests you and you find enjoyable. You want to learn to play a new instrument or take up a new hobby like watercolor painting or playing chess. Engage in ongoing learning. Again, that emphasis or that pitch for lifelong learning. Seek new opportunities for formal education. This could involve taking a class at a local college or community center that teaches about a new topic, skill, or hobby. Also, encourage and help your children and grandchildren to get as much formal education as possible. Again, join a club focused on a common interest. This, excuse me, this would have a double benefit. You're going to keep your mind active while engaging in the social interaction. While brain training activities such as computer games aim to improve memory and attention span, these are exciting areas of research. None of these activities are proven buffers against Alzheimer's disease. So be cautious of commercially marketed brain games with big claims and promises. One of the best ways to stretch your mind and help your brain be as resilient as possible is to consistently engage in activities that involve learning new things or solving problems. Be sure to choose activities that you enjoy to increase the likelihood that you're going to continue to engage with them over time. The final area we're going to take a look at is social engagement or interacting with others in that social environment. There's the least amount of research in this area. However, there is some research that indicates that connecting with others socially may benefit brain health and actually delay the onset of dementia. Those who are engaged with other people also tend to have reduced rates of mortality and disability. Researchers aren't sure how, why, or if social networks help keep the brain resilient against Alzheimer's disease. Some scientists say that the traits that enable people to build and maintain friendships act as a buffer against cognitive impairment. Regardless of the reason, we know people don't do well in isolation. When people are feeling good about their social networks, they tend to make healthier choices in other areas of their lives. There's a variety of ways to connect with others and recap the physical benefits of social interaction. As always, pursue the activities as meaningful to you. These will provide the greatest connection with those around you and keep you engaged. Sometimes you can engage in an activity that combines areas of healthy aging, such as when you take a walk with a friend or volunteer, or to tutor young adults in your community. So we're getting that double benefit of you're doing an engagement and you're getting a social activity at the same time. Find a purpose in your life, an activity or connection that's going to give you a sense of meaning. Staying socially active may be important in maintaining your overall health. You can engage with others without any financial cost. When you can choose social activities that have cognitive and physical component as well, you can also enhance the benefits you get from your activities. Some suggestions for social interaction include get together with family and friends on a regular basis, meeting new people and forming new friendships, being active in your community, volunteering at your local library or community center, take some classes, or join a local walking club or book club. Now, all of these activities are wonderful, but in today's world of COVID, it's a little bit more challenging. So you have to make sure if you engage in these, you want to stay safe at the same time. You can do something that you can manage with the time you have available, and choose an activity that you can stick with over time. We want to make healthy choices. But I turn the page too fast. I get going, I get talking ahead of myself. Okay. So we want to take a holistic approach. Got my script here, and I apologize for jumping ahead. Got a little fat fingered on my page turn. Okay. Now let's put it all together. Each of the 4 components we've explored the potential benefits for physical and cognitive health. Recent research, however, suggests that combining activities in all 4 areas may have the greatest benefit in maintaining and improving brain health. In this video, Dr. Bill Thies, who is a senior scientist in residence in the Medical Scientific Relations Department of the Alzheimer's Association, he's going to talk about a recent study that is making a difference in what scientists are able to tell us about healthy aging.
Recently, at the Alzheimer's Association International Conference, there was a study reported of the results of a large clinical trial that was done in the Scandinavian countries. And in this trial, they took half the people in the trial and they adjusted their exercise level, their diet, their social engagement, and their mental stimulation. They developed programs for each one of those variables, changed all of those for the people that were in the test group, and the control group just lived as they had been. There is a tremendous benefit to doing studies where we make changes and observe after the fact. That's a much stronger study than just observing people and trying to make judgments after life has changed for them. To my mind, one of the things that this has done is it's changed the force of recommendation that we might make around the benefit of these interventions for prevention of Alzheimer's disease or for brain health. And the fact is that I think it's moved it from possibly exercise, diet adjustments, social engagement, mental stimulation are useful to probably. And that's a big change and makes it easier for people to make those kinds of adjustments for the benefit of their future health.
So as Dr. Thies had mentioned, the recent study in Scandinavia tells us that when we exercise, diet, social engagement, and mental stimulation levels were increased to a prescribed level, fewer participants experienced cognitive decline. Scientists are now moving towards saying that these interventions may make a difference. With more evidence emerging, they're able to say that they probably do a major shift in the messaging. So if we talk to folks and we say, possibly help you, they may not be as likely to be open to the idea if we say this is probably going to help you. Let's take a holistic approach to wellness as you age. Consider your health across many components, including physical, intellectual, social, spiritual, emotional, and vocational areas of your life. You can make simple changes that will have a cumulative effect, helping you live as well as possible. But we want to begin today. It's never too late or too early to start living a more healthy way. Start small and build. Pick one area to start with and expand from there. And take your changes, take your changes one step at a time. Do what you enjoy and stick with it. The more you enjoy the activity you've chosen, the more likely you're going to do it and be able to follow up when you plan. Do something that you can manage in the time that you have available to you now. Remember, even a smaller amount of time can be a benefit to your health. And choose an activity you can stick with over time. We want to make healthy choices. Exercise, eat a nutritious diet, reduce stress as much as possible. And in order to do that, we need to make a plan. We're going to go over the notebook, the workbook that we have for you at the end of the presentation, but we'll talk about using that workbook as a document to a plan. Keep track of your progress as well as the obstacles that may hold you back and figure out ways to overcome them. And reward yourself for small changes in the overall progress. It may not seem like a lot to somebody else, but if it's your progression and you made that next minor goal, celebrate it. You want to get support from others. Let other people know about the changes you're making. Engage in activities that have a social component and celebrate the victories together. And most important, you want to have fun. Be sure the activities you choose are enjoyable. And again, reward yourself for those successes. You can find many products on the market with medical or health-related claims that may be backed up by inaccurate or misleading research. These products and services may be expensive, time-consuming, and can cause false hope for users. Some may actually be damaging to your health. Don't let your desire to find a cure or a quick solution to these challenges override your good judgment. These claims should be backed up by solid research conducted with a large number of people, and research that has been replicated in research that has been published in peer-reviewed journals. Before trying anything new, consult with professionals you know your situation or who know your situation or who are reliable sources of information. Your personal physician is the best to talk to about what your needs are and whether a product will be harmful to you or not. Another resource is a local pharmacist. They're great for information about drug and over-the-counter supplement interactions. And the Alzheimer's Association website, alz.org, also can be helpful. And this site is research. No matter whether you want information or support, we have questions about memory loss or dementia of any kind, or whether you're a professional, a researcher, a caregiver, or a person diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, or another form of dementia, the Alzheimer's Association has resources available for you to help. And this slide here indicates some of those. In addition to the live programs, we have a rich website at alz.org. And you can visit the website to get tips about finding and providing care, read about the latest research, and find tools for your well-being. And if you have not been there, I'll get back onto my page. I'll pull that over here. Just one moment, please. There we go. I have my stuff. So this is the Alzheimer's Association webpage. There's lots of information, Alzheimer's dementia, help and support, research, how you can get involved, finding your chapter. Scroll down, you see the different information and some quick links here. One of the online tools you'll find on the website is Alzheimer's Navigator. And this is what that website page looks like. We can help you map out a plan to approach Alzheimer's by visiting the webpage. And these links will be in the chat box for you again. Alzheimer's Navigator helps you guide to the answers by creating a personalized action plan containing information, support, and local resources. You can then share your plan with your friends and family, linking them to the materials customized for your specific situation. By visiting the Community Resources Finder online tool, and this is the website that talks about that. You can search for local community living services, day programs, medical resources, and more. Whether you're in the area or across the country, you can find services to help someone living with dementia and make the important contacts that you'll need to ensure safety and comfort. A rich supplement of local supportive agencies is available at ALZ Connected. It's online message boards with over 50,000 members who share their thoughts, questions, and ideas with each other 24 hours a day. There it is. So this is our ALZ Connected, and you can see there's forum for caregivers, or if you have the Alzheimer's disease, you go in and ask questions and folks will respond. So great resource. Whether you're living with dementia or close to someone, you can come to read those posts about your concerns. You can let ALZ Connected help you develop a plan to find support and discover new coping techniques by connecting with others who are living with Alzheimer's or partners in care. We have a 24/7 helpline that offers dementia-trained professionals to talk to at any time, day or night, every day of the year. You can call it the helpline number 800-272-3900 when you need information about the disease and meeting its challenges. There are links to resources or supportive, or if you need a supportive ear during trying times. Get my brain working in the right direction today. The Alzheimer's Association has chapters throughout the country where we offer education programs, support groups, and much more. To find a chapter anywhere, you can go to Find Us. You put in your zip code or select your state, and it'll take you to chapter. So being in Northern California, I'll do that. And then those chapters will come up. It's a quick, easy way to find resources that are more local. And training and education is also part of that. The information on this page here, I've gone and looked, and there seem to be some changes on the website there. But we do have, which is now more considered the events, where we have the education programs and you get featured events. So we see online education programs, and then you have the ability to come in and select the class that you're looking for. So a lot of good information here on the Alzheimer's Association. So please contact us, let the Alzheimer's Association partner with you to help ensuring your well-being. You can use your voice, your motivation, or your interest and skills to help with new treatments and enhance the services for all people with dementia. Clinical trials research studies are being conducted all over the world to find treatments are safe and effective. And clinical trials are the best way for researchers to find new ways to detect, slow, treat, and hopefully someday prevent Alzheimer's disease. The Alzheimer's Association's Trial Match is a free clinical studies matching service that connects individuals with Alzheimer's, caregivers, and healthy volunteers to local clinicians seeking for participants. And Trial Match web page on our site looks like this. So have information, you want more details about what the trial is and how they work, we have that for you as well. Again, those are in the chat box. When you join a clinical trial, you have an opportunity to participate in vital research that could change the course of Alzheimer's disease and improve the lives of all those it affects. It's also important to get a very broad spectrum of our population representation. As we talked about some of the healthy brain activities where segments of our population have better health concerns. We want to make sure that we're getting representation from all segments of our society, African Americans, Latinos, women. They all have a higher rates of Alzheimer's, and Trial Match can help us figure out what some of those conditions could be. The Walk to End Alzheimer's and The Longest Day are opportunities for local community to join together. We also do a grassroots advocacy the AIM program. So when we start with the Walk to End Alzheimer's, I know we have walk folks here. So here's a page we can go into. You can get registered, find the walk in your area, get registered up, and help us raise money and awareness about Alzheimer's. If you have a passion for advocacy, the AIM Alzheimer's Impact Movement page is here, and you can see information about research, care, and support. The advocacy group focuses on working with legislatures, both at the state and national level, to encourage the support for Alzheimer's research and getting funding to help us work for the, make sure that we're doing the best we can for the disease. So we're running short on time. I want to make sure we do that. So there was a couple of, I did notice at least one question in the chat box. Let me go back here for a minute. I lost my page, but I believe it was, there it is. How would someone be able to tell the difference between normal memory loss with age and dementia of Alzheimer's? So, so first step would be to get with a physician, get with your doctor, and they can look at your overall health, determine if there are any tests that would be needed, and be able to guide you further on that. If you had a question that your doctor didn't answer or you weren't sure of, I encourage you to use the 800 helpline and call, where you have access to experts and master's clinicians that can help point you in the right direction of where you're looking for answers for your questions. Yeah. Okay. So I promised you the links to, you got the right one.
And I got all of those links that you put in the chat box there, John, and I will email those out to everybody who is attending so that they can have those.
Okay. Last time I presented, I dragged the chat box over and they couldn't see. Can you see the information in the chat box today, or is it grayed out for you?
Great. I can see it, and I copied and I will paste it in an email.
What I was going to share was down at the bottom where you're putting in your information, the 3 dots there. If you click on that, you can save the chat. And then you won't have to worry about, oh, I need to copy that, I need to do that. You can get back to it later when you need it. So I'm going to click on the handouts. I had this all set up and I did something that messed it up. So thank you for your patience with me on that. So the 3 handouts we have. One, this is the presentation, the slide deck for the presentation. You have all the information that we covered today. And this is the workbook I referenced. To talk about physical health, exercise, diet, nutrition. And as you go through, there's places for you to try and track your own journey. So how can I do better? What are my goals and where am I going from there? And the third one, 10 ways to love your brain. Nice little flyer you can get up, put up, and remind you, oh, I'm kind of tired today. Oh, I want to catch some Z's. I'm going to do my 10 healthy techniques. So, with that, is there any other questions or things that you may have concerns or questions about?
Great presentation, John. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Thanks for your patience with me through all my little stumbles.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So just a couple quick minutes. Does anybody have any specific questions for John before we wrap up the meeting so we don't run long today? Anyone? I would say anyone. Bueller, anyone?
Bueller? Bueller?
Oh my goodness. Awesome. Okay, so as always, if you have any, did we have somebody asking a question?
He gets really frustrated with mom. He is in denial. He wants to be able to be honest with her.
Let's see. I don't know who that is. So, okay. So what I was saying was, anyway, as always, if you have any suggestions for any upcoming speakers, you can either put it in the chat box, you can post it on Facebook suggestions, or you can email Amy directly when she sends out a reminder for the meetings. You can always just let her know any suggestions you have for speakers, or even just themes. Maybe if there's a particular topic you'd love to hear, you can let us know about that. Cheryl, did you have a question?
You know, I was just going to make a comment. First of all, thank you so much, John. Appreciated the information. We have so many wonderful educational things that we have available. We have another presentation, Know the 10 Signs. So if this sounds like something that is, you know, that you guys might want to hear about maybe a couple months down the line, we could offer that as well. We have many amazing ones that we could offer that want to hog the platform, but, you know, go maybe down the line somewhere, that might be something we want to do as well. So let me know if there's some interest and we can go from there.
Wonderful. Okay, great. So we had 17 people attending today. Amy, do you know if, what's the most we've ever had? Do you know?
17 today is the biggest group that we've had.
Get the record.
Awesome. Okay, so that's exciting. That's exciting. Okay, so reminder for our next meeting will be Thursday, March 25th. Again, 10 a.m. via Zoom. And we will have Kimberly Sullivan Gray. She's an estate planning attorney, so that'll be some great information. She's from Dickerson Law in Oakdale, and she'll be sharing with us ideas about how to protect and take care of your financial assets and needs during your retirement years, and maybe planning even going into your retirement years. So that'll be great content. So looking forward to that. So.
And Kimberly is here with us. If that's okay, let her introduce herself, and maybe people have some suggestions of things they'd like to hear from Kimberly.
Kimberly.
Hi, thank you for having me. This was really a great meeting to watch.
Wonderful. We're looking forward to having you join us next month and hearing all of the great information. And again, thank you for joining our meeting today. Kimberly, did you like our Facebook page so you can see information on there too as well?
I should have, but I'll double check to make sure.
I think Amy can probably send out those invites too to the people that are new attending our page today. So awesome. All right, thank you everyone. Appreciate everyone's time in attending our meeting today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. And if you have any announcements or things you want the group to know, feel free to email them to me and I'll get them out to everybody. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.